Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is ThePromG and welcome back to a brand new video. Now, what you guys today is my monthly manga reading log for the month of August. Now, since school has started this month, I have had a little bit less time to read manga than I did in the past, but yeah, I still got a lot of time in to read a lot of amazing series this month, so I'm going to go over all the things I read this month in this video. So if you guys do enjoy it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so to start this video off, I'm going to talk about the manga that I read this month that I just don't have to show off in this video because obviously I moved to my college dorm, so I couldn't bring all this manga with me. First set of volumes I read this month is volumes 4 through 31, the completed series of Slam Dunk. Slam Dunk has been by far one of my favorite reads throughout this entire year so far. You know, it's just such an addicting series, and a series that really resonated with me personally just because I love basketball and I just love the characters. And one of the reasons why I really enjoyed it was because I kind of had this itch that couldn't be scratched for live sports, especially basketball. It felt like every single volume in the series just flew by when I was reading it. It really didn't take me long to finish a volume, and because of that, I was just absolutely addicted to just flying through the series. A lot of the basketball games in the series took like 3 to 4 volumes, so you know, just having this constant action, constant drama, and suspense of wondering what's going to happen next, it really did make it easy to just fly right through the series. If you guys aren't aware, I actually do have a first impression manga review for Slam Dunk on my channel. I uploaded it a couple weeks ago, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to go check out that video if you haven't already. And spoiler alert, it's a pretty positive review. So yeah, in summary, Slam Dunk was my favorite reads from this year so far, and I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't read it yet. And while we're on the topic of manga that I read this month but just don't have with me for the video, the next thing I read this month is volumes 1 through 6 of Akira. Now, as most of you guys know, I recently uploaded a video unboxing the 35th anniversary Akira hardcover box set, and man, I didn't really think that the quality of the box set was going to be an indicator of just how much I enjoyed this series, but man, this was an absolutely wild ride. Kind of like Slam Dunk, this is another series where there's constant action and constant drama that really kept me invested and made me want to keep reading as the month progressed. I also had motivation to read this series because, you know, I knew I was moving to college around the 13th, so I had like a couple weeks where I could read as much manga as I possibly could before I ended up having to move up to college. And trust me, the last thing I wanted to bring up to college with me is this big 35th anniversary box set. I mean, this thing had so much weight to it. So that was kind of my motivation to reading and finishing this series in the timely manner that I did. And I really cannot recommend Akira enough, especially to those who watched the movie and weren't all too pleased with, you know, the story and kind of how it felt rushed. But I knew that going into this manga, it was going to do a much better job of telling the story and developing the characters, as obviously there isn't a 2-hour time limit to what they could show off with the movie, so it just feels so much more structured and so much more complete. But yeah, I definitely recommend you go out and get this box set before it goes out of print and goes back up in price like it did a few months ago before the initial reprint, because man, this was just an absolutely amazing series from start to finish. And the last volume of manga that I read this month that I don't have with me is volume 20 of One Punch Man. One Punch Man continues to be one of my favorite, and I guess one of the only continuing series that I'm following right now. But every time a One Punch volume comes out, you know, I know it's not going to disappoint me. It's going to be a quick, fast read, you know, I can enjoy immensely. And the newest volume, volume 20, was definitely no exception. The only thing I didn't really like about this volume in particular is that we didn't really get to see a whole lot of Garo or Saitama or any of the really interesting characters at the moment. But I know that in the next few volumes, the story is just going to absolutely explode, and we're going to get a lot more action and amazing fights. But you know, there was still some decent action in this volume. You know, for every great manga, there's going to be, you know, an occasional build-up volume, and I guess that's to be expected. While it wasn't the most action-packed and plot-filled volume in the series, I definitely still enjoyed it, and I can absolutely not wait for the next few volumes to come. Alright, so the next volume that I read this month is volume 2 of Gigant by Hiroya Oku. Now, this volume was probably one of my most anticipated volumes that I had coming in the mail recently, and took a little bit longer than I expected to get this pre-ordered volume in, but I finally read it a couple days ago and I absolutely loved it. In my opinion, I think a lot of other people's opinions, the first volume to the series was a little bit rocky, you know, it didn't really find its footing, but I think that the second volume does a much better job of kind of getting us into the action. There's also a lot of relationship development between the two characters, wink wink. There's a lot of plot in this volume, and as is typical with Hiroya Oku's series, this volume was just a fun read. You know, I had a little bit of a break between some schoolwork and classes, so I decided to sit down and read this volume. It took me like 30 minutes tops, and reading this volume was just a fun experience from front to back. And with all that being said, I'm very excited to read the third volume of Gigant when it comes out, I think in like a couple months, which is a very long time, but you know, I'll just have to wait patiently, and I cannot wait to read more of this series. And the next volume that I finished this month is actually something I mentioned in my past reading log last month, but I actually ended up finishing this light novel this month, that being volume 1 of Classroom of the Elite. Now, I went in with absolutely zero expectations with my first ever light novel being this volume right here, and I have to say I'm really blown away with how much I enjoyed this first volume. To put it simply, this light novel is about this school who has a very interesting way of grading and grouping their students, and it basically follows a couple of students as they try to work their way to the top of the class. Again, like I said, with these unique and very mysterious ways that the school operates. The story is very psychological, they're very interesting and diverse characters. I'm very excited to start the next light novel in these series, probably next month, and hopefully I'll have it finished by the end of the month for next month's reading log. The next few books that I read this month are volumes 4 through 6 of the Vagabond Vizbigs. I would say that this month Vagabond has been my main series that I've been reading. You know, if I have any downtime between classes, my main thing to go to is Vagabond. But even though these are 3 3-in-1s, you know, it doesn't really feel like that because this series just goes by really fast, especially the 5th and 6th Vizbigs in my opinion, because that's when it's following Sasaki Kojiro and kind of his whole story from birth to adulthood as a very formidable fighter. And it was kind of a nice change of pace to take a break from Musashi and his journey to become the most invincible swordsman and follow a brand new character who has an arguably more interesting story. Vagabond will probably continue to be my highest priority when it comes to manga reading, and yeah, needless to say, I really am enjoying this series so far, and I cannot wait to read more. And speaking of series that I really enjoyed, next thing I read this month is volume 39 of Berserk. Now, I have been a bit vocal about my disdain for the Fantasia arc, but I have to say, since volume 38, I think the series is really heating up again. I don't know what it is, but I feel that the crew of characters is a lot less annoying than I felt they were than, you know, past volumes in the Fantasia arc. Also, we finally got off that f***ing boat, thank God. So at the moment, I'm a lot more invested into the plot than I was during those specific volumes. As for volume 39, I really enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to read the 40th volume that I currently have in the plastic still. And after I read that volume, I'll just have to be sad and sulk and wait for the next one to come out. God knows when that's gonna happen, so I'll just have to make sure to enjoy these few volumes that I have left while I can. And the final volume that I read this month is a volume that I'm sure none of you guys saw coming. That's because this is very out of character for me, especially with these series and the genres that I like. But that is my first ever shoujo manga, Volume 1 of Paradise Kiss. And I'm gonna refrain from talking about this volume too much because I actually have a video planned for talking about this volume, along with a couple other shoujo series that you can hopefully see right behind me there. Let's just say that I have a very fun and unique video planned in the very near future, so as soon as I read some more of those series, I can finish that video up and I'll put it out for you guys to enjoy. But I can say that I really did enjoy this volume for my first experience with shoujo. This volume kind of deals with fashion and the fashion industry, which I find very interesting, as well as, you know, some typical teenage relationships, which I guess was pretty enjoyable for what it was. And I do have all the volumes except for the last one back home, so I'll probably have those brought up to me pretty soon so I can read those. And yeah, I'm definitely enjoying this series, and I hope you guys will enjoy this special video coming up in the very near future. But yeah, that is all the manga I read over the month of August. A pretty good variety of stuff if I do say so myself. And yeah, a lot of amazing series. I also hope that you like the little setup that I have going on me with the shelf and, you know, some stuff in the background. It's not a whole lot to work with, but I'm always looking for ways to improve it, so leave some suggestions in the comments below if you have any tips for improving this little setup that I have for my backdrop. Anyways guys, that's going to wrap up for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. Yeah, this has been ThePromG. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and as always, hope to catch you in the next one.